To do that though, we gotta get the flamethrower out, Jenn.
Oh yeah?
Oh yeah? What's happening, y'all? Welcome to Stivers Homestead. I'm Zach. Jenn will probably be in here in and out, but right now we're doing tractor stuff and planting stuff, and she's homeschooling doing kid things, so you got me for right now. So if you've caught our lives, you know that we had a pumpkin issue. So what I mean by that is I didn't set up our gardens for that much pumpkins. I did a big area in the back for corn, but then all the rest were these long 100-foot rows with very big pathways in the middle to where I could get the tractor in. Well, why that's a problem with big pumpkins is obviously they vine out everywhere. And so if they're vining out in the grass, I can't get in and mow it, weeds are gonna take over, and it's just gonna be a bad situation all around. So my weed tarp that I had ordered a little while back, it finally came back in stock. And I looked at Jenn, and actually I think Jenn suggested it to me. She's like, why don't you just kill up a middle and put weed tarp over everything and you have a pumpkin bed? Can you tell that that hasn't been tilled once, and this row have been tilled about 25 times? So when you are planting in-ground gardening and you're doing it for the first time on brand new land that's never been tilled like this before, it is a must to start tilling early in the spring and continue tilling, or you're gonna have grass like crazy. So, no, I didn't really need to till that middle area since I'm gonna put weed tarp on it, but I figured why not? The tiller's still hooked to the tractor. Let's go ahead and loosen up that ground and try to start killing some stuff off. But what we're gonna do is, this row is gonna be a planting row, and this row is gonna be a planting row, which was the original plan. And then now the middle is just gonna be where the vines can grow. So we're gonna send everything inwards, back and forth, and they'll have plenty of spot to grow on and not have to worry about weeds taking over. So I'm glad that we did that because we started a lot of pumpkins and I didn't want them to go to waste. So I've got a limited amount of time today because we actually have Jenn's dad and stepmom coming in from over on the other side of the hill. And so I wanna get this done before they get here so we can have good quality time. So let's get on it. Okay, got the weed tarp down. So as you can see, my Amazon one, it was a 300-foot row at 6 foot wide. So it covered 2 full rows and 3/4 of one. And then I had some Garden Solutions weed tarp. It is 3 foot long, or 3 foot wide and 300 foot long as well. But it doesn't cover near as area. That is a much thicker weed tarp. It is better quality. However, with the massive amount that we were doing, we went with this, which had really good reviews. I'll link it down below. So as you can tell over here, it didn't completely cover the spot that was gonna be a planned garden bed. So what some people do is when they are planting in a row, they'll take their weed tarp and leave a gap to plant their plants in. That's basically what I'm doing on this side because I wasn't gonna put weed tarp on it because it wasn't gonna be a melon bed. But now it is. So I'll just plant right along that black line right there and then have them go to the weed tarp. So when you have a Viney item, you can kind of move it which way you want it to go and it'll take off that way. So we're gonna start down this line and then I'll go over here to this side and I'll use my handy dandy blowtorch and I'll blow the hose in those and then we'll plant them on that way. So the goal is they're all gonna go inwards and I'll kind of alternate the way so they won't be trying to fight too much with them. But we're gonna start with this line and just get this stuff planted. crew with me now. I got Jenn over here. We got Jenn back here and side by side. And we have got one side planted. Sorry, that was a little dizzy. So we've got giant pumpkins. All of these are from Hostels, by the way. We've got giant pumpkins, solar partial eclipse pumpkins, Amish pie pumpkins, sweet dumpling pumpkins. And then we move into more of the squash where we have Kajari melons, butternut squash, cantaloupe, honeydew, all that good stuff. But I planted them 2 foot apart. And then you want them at least 6 to 8 foot rows. So that'll be plenty of room. That's about 12 foot to the other side. But they're doing great for the most part. It's the heat of the day. Not a good time to plant this stuff. Not a good time to plant anything. But when you work a full-time job, Jenn and I, we just had our kitchen inspected for the micro processing. So that went well, and that got us a little bit further into the heat of the day. So, hey, no violations?
Yeah, no violations.
No violations, so that's fantastic. Way to go for a new house, right? So we got that done, and now it is time to plant the other side. To do that, though, we gotta get the flamethrower out, Jenn.
Oh yeah?
Oh yeah? All right, y'all, it's planted. So there is over 48 pumpkins, different squash types, watermelons, cantaloupes, honeydews, all that in this garden. And they'll have all that big open area in the middle to trellis or to vine out and do their thing and have plenty of space to grow and really give us some awesome melons, some awesome pumpkins. And something that's one of our favorites to have around here. Now, I would say this is probably the hardest thing when it comes to where am I gonna plant it and when it comes to Viney items. So yes, you can trellis them, you can use cattle panels. I love using pallet trellises, which I'll link that video down below. It's a real cheap and easy way to do a trellis. But with a lot of this stuff, they're really heavy. So then you gotta think about supports if you're gonna go up in the air. So we're thankful enough to have a big space to be able to do this, which is one of the reasons we bought this property. But if you do not have a large area like this, you probably have a little spot in the ground. You can probably grow a few of your favorites, or you can do them on a trellis and you can hang them. But I hope this was at least a little helpful for you. By the way, the black tarp, I know that might be a little bit in question with watermelons as well. It's gonna be fine. It's great. They won't burn them up, I promise. And it'll do everything that you want it to do to keep the weed tarp down. We've done this process before. But I hope you enjoyed. I hope you learned a little. I hope it at least gave you a little bit of an idea when it comes to something that you want to grow. And you're like, I just don't know where to do it, because we were almost about to give up on melons. And then Jenn came up with the bright idea to do this stuff. So I hope you all enjoyed. If you haven't subscribed, make sure to down below. And we love you. Until the next one. Bye.